Special counsel Robert Mueller in the headlines this week with the first indictments from his wide-ranging investigation into Russian meddling in the U.S. election. The special counsel is set to depose 3 or 4 current White House officials in the week ahead. So here's where we are. Paul Manafort, President Trump's former campaign chairman, and Rick Gates, Manafort's deputy, were indicted on 12 charges, including conspiracy against the United States and money laundering. They're charged with working as unregistered agents for the government of Ukraine and parties closely aligned with the Russian President Vladimir Putin. The indictment alleges that $75 million flowed to them through overseas accounts and charges them with laundering $18 million. And there was a plea deal with George Papadopoulos, a former Trump campaign advisor who pled guilty to lying about repeated meetings with the Russians, offering dirt on Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton. To walk us through what this all means and where it could all go is Peter Zeidenberg. He's a former deputy special prosecutor. It's nice to have you with us.
Happy to.
A couple of things stuck out to me in the Manafort indictment. What stands out to you the most right now?
It's really remarkable amount of work that goes into an indictment like that, and the fact that Mueller and his team were able to put something together is very impressive. To do a money laundering investigation involving all these different entities, all these different offshore accounts, it's just a tremendous amount of legwork that goes into that, because getting those foreign records and getting those accounts, that banking information from all these different jurisdictions, foreign jurisdictions, it takes time. And it's just remarkable that they've been able not only to get all that information, but to digest it and pressure test it, and now they're confident enough to go forward with it. So that struck me. The other thing is that the Papadopoulos plea, the fact that he was arrested in late July, no one knew about it, that he's been cooperating with the government.
They called him a proactive cooperator. What exactly does that mean?
Well, to me, it would suggest that he's obviously providing them information on an ongoing basis and perhaps gathering information from them, and that could possibly include wearing a wire.
What are the most important elements?
I think people are missing the larger picture. Manafort wasn't lobbying for France. He was lobbying for the Ukraine. The Ukraine is a puppet government at the time of Russia, which is obviously the country that was interfering with our election, according to 17 intelligence agencies. So what Mueller has sort of sketched out without putting in all the details, he's sort of created a superstructure here where he set up basically a motive and what I think will be very likely to be more indictments to come will fill in these pieces.
You have, we're told, 3 or 4 people who work in the White House are going to be next up to meeting with Mueller's team. What do you think happens next? Is it going to be every week there's another round?
I'm sure there's people being interviewed all the time. Yeah, there's no reason we would necessarily know about that. Some of the more high-level people like Hope Hicks, that's harder because she's a recognizable person. But there are, the fact is, most people work at the White House. They're not household names. They're not faces you recognize. They can walk into the special counsel's office and no one will know who they are.
Peter Zeidenberg, nice to have you.
Happy to.